presence and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with combo limit.
Welcome back to Skyview High School. It's a happy homecoming for the Bobcats as they survive. This final score was 29-0, Rex, but I say survive because the Mustangs gave them everything and more tonight for homecoming.
Yeah, the Mustang defense, if you just look at that score and you see 29-0, you're going to think, oh, Skyview handled business, did what they're supposed to do, but really Mountain Crest came out here and looked dang good. Defensively, they were really sound until halfway into the fourth quarter, and that's when things really turned for in Skyview's favor. I thought they did a good job, Mountain Crest did, in bottling Isaac Larson. The refs also helped in that a little bit too, because every time Larson broke a big play, it came back on penalties. But if you're Mountain Crest, I really don't think you can hang your head a whole lot over that game, because Mountain Crest came out and gave the defending state champs everything they could handle.
So the Skyview Bobcats will go to 7-0 on the season, stay atop of the region standings at 3-0. Mountain Crest will go to 1-6. Skyview will be here next week in Smithfield to host the Logan Grizzlies in the final region game. It will be the last regular season home game for the Bobcats. So that will be there. And then the Mustangs, they will face the Bear River Bears in Hiram, as the Mustangs will be at home the next 3 games. A.J. Knight will have all 3 of these games. Next week versus Bear River, then the big rivalry against Ridgeline on October 9th, and on October 14th, fall break, it will be Hillcrest. The 5A squad will be in to face the Mustangs. But speaking of the Mustangs, that game against Bear River next week should be a good one in Hiram next week, because we talked about that back and forth game in Tremont and Rex.
Right.
Final score, Green Canyon 27, Bear River 26. Green Canyon scored with 8 seconds left to get the victory in Garland. What a play.
Yeah, just an absolute slugfest, punch for punch out there. And, man, you got to give some props to Green Canyon. Bear River is not pushover, and Bear River showed it out there. Bear River is a tough team, and Green Canyon able to get that win, just like Skyview was able to get a region win here tonight over the Mustangs. Good team effort all the way around by both Green Canyon and Skyview.
Also, the other score we had, Ridgeline just slobber knockered. Is that like an official word?
I think it is, yeah.
Because they just took it to the Logan Grizzlies. 45-0 was the last score we had in Millville. And so with that loss to Logan, Skyview sits atop of the region standings at 3-0.
Yeah, and Logan surprised me that they were sitting at 2-0, but I think Ridgeline gave him a little bit of a reality check there. But, man, what a team effort here by Skyview tonight, especially as tested as they were. Through 3.5 quarters, Mountain Crest gave Skyview everything they could handle. And then late in the game, Skyview able to turn on the Jets and just pull away with the Kason Carlson touchdown run. But good team effort here by the Bobcats.
So we're here on the postgame show, and as the coach comes up here, and also we're joined by Hunter Lewis. There you go, Hunter. We'll get our... But again, the Bobcats victorious tonight. Good win, 29-0. And we're joined here on the postgame show with Hunter Lewis. And Hunter, why don't you talk about the game tonight? That was a great victory for your guys. We talked to Coach Hal pregame, and we knew that Mountain Crest, they fight so hard to the bitter end. But you guys, it was a tough game. What did you see down there in the trenches?
Yeah, it was a well-fought game by both teams. I mean, Mountain Crest, they're always tough. Yeah, they're in the valley. They're a big rival. We got a few penalties there right at the beginning that really turned us back. And we got penalties throughout the game. I mean, you saw that. And it just really kind of dampened our rhythm. But at the end of the day, it was 29-0, and we played really good.
So, I mean, how good does it feel after that emotional game at Ridgeline, and then you guys get the victory there, and then to have to turn around and refocus for homecoming? I mean, how much does that take out of you players, just all the emotion that's involved with that game and then coming here for homecoming?
Oh, yeah. Well, everyone wants to win on their homecoming. We had a really big win. I mean, those who saw that game, that was a really crazy game. And but at the end of the day, we won that game as well. So we had a lot of momentum coming into this week.
Hunter, it seems like anytime there's a tackle on a play, we're either saying Hunter Lewis or Walter Collins. Do you guys have a little bet between yourselves who can have more tackles in a game? Because I swear it seems like there's something driving you two. I feel like you two as linebackers just go out there and you're in on every stop. Do you guys have a little challenge between yourselves? Or
me and Walter, we're really good friends, and I guess you could say something like that. I mean, we always have a little trash talking after, but at the end of the day, it's seriously a team game, and our front line does really well of fitting up, and me and Walter are the there to tackle him. So,
well, and it seems like throughout the season, like Rex said, you were always calling your name, and it seems like, I mean, where do you get that just natural instinct? I mean, is it just natural instinct that you have to get your nose in the play every time, or how much film study goes involved in this and everything like that?
Oh, it's everything. It's practice. It's film study. It's literally everything. Like, the inside linebackers are really big on getting reads, and that's all we do. So when it comes game time, it's just really easy, and we're always there to make plays.
Well, Hunter, we appreciate you taking some time after the homecoming win, 29-0 over Mountain Crest. You've got another team coming in, the Logan Grizzlies. You guys want to wrap up another region title. You've got 2 more games in region. You're Logan this next week here, and then you're on the road at Bear River. But now you've got a week to prepare for Logan, and this is a Grizzly team that runs the ball. They do a great job that way. What do you guys have to do to solidify that defense up a little bit more? Not that you didn't have trouble tonight, but just to solidify it more and get the victory next week too.
We just have to carry it to next week. I mean, our defense played really well tonight. We pitched a shutout. We just need to eliminate the penalties and just keep playing our game.
Well, Hunter, we appreciate you coming up. Who would you like to give a shout-out to? I mean, a happy homecoming for you guys.
Oh, yeah. I want to give a shout-out to my Nana and Papa on the road. They're truckers. And I also want to shout-out to my brother on a mission. He's in Chicago right now.
Well, that's awesome. Hopefully he stepped aside and got a chance to listen to you.
Oh, yeah, that'd be awesome.
That'd be awesome.
Oh, yeah.
All right, well, we appreciate you coming up and taking some time, and congratulations on the victory, Hunter.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
All right, so Hunter Lewis, again, double-digit tackles, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
For the game. It's just it's a streak I'm going to have to go look and find.
Right, it's just a given. If he's playing linebacker, he's getting double-digit tackles. Like, just plan on it.
Well, we're joined now with Coach Chris Allen. And, Coach, we talked about it in pregame. We know how tough Mountain Crest is defensively, and they really shut down that offense of you guys in the third quarter.
Yeah, they did a really good job in the first half, I thought. We got things going early, but then we had some penalties, some mistakes, some things we definitely have to clean up. And then they had a lot to do with that as well. They do a really good job up front. They had some pretty well-designed blitzes that we struggled with as far as protecting Kaysen. We also have to get the ball out a little bit faster. I mean, there's a lot of things we have to work on. The end of the day, though, our defense held strong and really did a good job eliminating much of any offense that they tried to put together. So I'm really proud of those guys. And then late in the game, we were able to create some good field position and go get some scores.
And again, special teams, I mean, when you had to punt, I mean, Carlson's giving them, you talked about field position, it gave Mountain Crest a whole field to have to cover, and your defense was able to get them off the field.
Absolutely, and that's, we talked about it pregame, and it's a huge part of what we do, and Kaysen's one of the best punters around. People don't really give him credit for that because it gets lost in some of the other things he does, but he punted the ball tremendously well tonight and created a long field for them, and then our defense held them, and we were able to get field position back.
Well, Coach, talk about Hunter Lewis. You brought him up for the post-game show. Why don't you talk about the player that he is and what an anchor he is on that defense for you?
That kid's incredible. He's one of my favorite kids I've ever coached. He is so coachable. He does everything we ask. we run a lot of checks on defense based off of certain formations. We're running this blitz or this stunt or whatever, and he knows it all, and he will check us into it and get us into the right play all the time, and then he is in on every single tackle. One of the things that I love most about Hunter is every single day in practice, when it's an offensive day or an offensive drill, he could stand on the sideline and get no reps, but he gets all the scout team reps as well, and so that's one of the reasons he makes so many plays, is because he gets so many looks every day in practice, and is just a tremendous leader on this football team.
Well, Coach, next week you've got Logan coming in, and if I looking at the schedule right, it should be senior night.
Yep.
Here for you guys, the last regular season game for you guys here in Smithfield, but it's against a good, well-coached team by Coach Bowen, and he's bringing in a team that has maybe surprised a few people this season. They're a really good running team. They had a transfer running back from Payson, and they've got the big play receiver in J.J. Sargent. What do you got to do to shut those key players up?
You know, the biggest thing is we're going to do what we do. The biggest thing is making sure our matchups are where they need to be, and we're going to put some pressure on their quarterback. And as always, our first goal is to stop the run, always, because if we feel like if we can get teams in long yardage situations, then we can run a lot of our blitz schemes and our drop schemes, things where we're trying to make it look like one thing and then run another thing. We feel like that's kind of the strong suit, so we have to stop the run on first and second down.
Well, Coach, we appreciate your time, and I know you probably won't like this, so I'm backing up a little bit, but happy birthday yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm glad that they got the victory for you.
Yeah, absolutely. But you know what? At the end of the day, it's not about me. It's about these kids. These kids make plays. They put forth a ton of effort. They take risks just by coming out for football. It's a brutal sport. It's a hard sport. They work so hard every single day. We work their tails off. And so I'm just really proud of the way that we showed some resiliency tonight when we didn't play our best football, but pretty sound on a lot of, at least 2 out of the 3 phases of the game, for sure. Well,
Coach, we appreciate you talking with us post-game, and we'll talk to you pre-game next week against Logan.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
So, again, Skyview victorious tonight, 29-0 over the visiting Mustangs, but it wasn't easy, as you heard Coach say. But a lot of credit goes to the Mountain Crest Mustangs as they kept this game close. It was 14-0 going into the fourth quarter. And our old gristmill bread and butter play of the game is going to go to a defensive player for the Bobcats that really changed the game, Rex, because like we say, it's 14-0. It's fourth down for the Mustangs. I think it was 4th and 2, if I remember exactly. But the Bobcats needed a stop if they were going to slow that momentum, and they got it from our old gristmill bread and butter play of the game.
Right, and that bread and butter play of the game, you'll call into 106.9 The Fan when they ask for the bread and butter play of the game, and the answer is it is David Atiutasi's 4th down stop that ended the Mountain Crest drive. That was an 11-play drive, and the very next play after that 4th down stop, Kason Carlson takes that thing 55 yards to the house and absolutely changed the entire dynamic of this football game tonight. So call in to 106.9 The Fan and let them know it was the David Atiutasi 4th down stop that ended the Mountain Crest drive.
Yeah, and again, Eric Franson, Ajay Salveson on the Full Court Press. You can hear that show weekdays from 4 to 6 as they have all the sports news. They'll be talking about that on 106.9 The Fan. So listen Monday, and when they ask for that old gristmill play of the game, bread and butter play of the game, and you can answer it, then you can win 4 loaves of bread from the old gristmill. Now our McDonald's players of the game. Rex, we're going to go with Mountain Crest first. It could go to a few different people, but one player that we just can't overlook when you're talking Mountain Crest football, and the way their defense played tonight and keeping Skyview at bay in that third quarter especially, we gave it to Elijah Jackson.
Right, and there was a lot of discussion there because Emilio Veter had some explosive plays tonight. He really was the spark for them on offense, but after discussing it a little bit, we decided on Elijah Jackson, the linebacker. The kid's been a stud. I think he's been a starter since his sophomore season, but he's just all over. He is to Mountain Crest what Hunter Lewis is to Skyview. Skyview has Hunter Lewis, that defensive linebacker linebacker, anchor. And that is exactly what Elijah Jackson is for the Mustangs, so we chose him as our McDonald's player of the game for the Mustangs.
For the Skyview Bobcats, this McDonald's player of the game, we're going to give to Sam Thatcher. He started the scoring for the Bobcats to start things off. He had an interception on defense, and you've got the rest of the stuff there.
Yeah, he ended up getting that interception on defense. He had a tackle for a loss. Sam Thatcher just played one heck of a game for the Bobcats. It seemed like he was all over the field. He had a pass deflection as well, and he was there for the Bobcats. He was that first initial spark, and then he just kept on going. He ended up having 3 catches for 30 yards and a touchdown in the game. So Sam Thatcher, our McDonald's player of the game for the Skyview Bobcats.
And finally, we want to give those scores to you again. The final scores: Green Canyon was scored with 8 seconds left to defeat Bear River 27-26. So Green Canyon goes to 4-3 on the season, 2-1 in region play. Bear River will go to 3-4 in overall and 0-3 in region play. And a final score from Millville, start to finish, Ridgeline led Logan. Logan will fall to 2-1 in region play and 3-4 overall as they lost 52-22. Ridgeline will improve to 5-1 and 2-1 in region play. So Skyview's all alone in region play at 3-0 and 7-0 overall, and they keep that streak alive. They still haven't lost a region game for 3.5 years now. So the Bobcats, and they've won 20 straight home games, so a few streaks for the Skyview Bobcats. They win tonight 29-0. So any final thoughts, Rex?
Yeah, I mean, just we've said it a few times, but I feel like we can't say it too many times. If you're a Mustang fan, your team came out here for 3.5 quarters and played their tail off. They absolutely did. They held down the defending state champs for 3.5 quarters, but once that Ottiotasi stop happened and then the Carlson 55-yard touchdown, it was just all downhill for Skyview from there. So Mountain Crest fans, don't hang your head too much, but Skyview fans, a lot to build on here, a lot to get better on, and guess we'll see if it happens next week.
So Mountain Crest, again, AJ Knight will be back here on 107.7 FM. He'll be back in the press box to be on the air to give you all the action of the Mustangs as they host the Bear River Bears next Friday in Hiram. The Skyview Bobcats will have senior night next week, as the Bobcats will host the Logan Grizzlies for senior night. So again, for Cody Olson back in studio, for Adam Sherwood, our stats guy Rex Davis, and myself, John Newbold, have a great night, everybody, and a great weekend. Skyview gets the homecoming victory, 29-0, and we'll be back on the air next week as the Grizzlies come to Smithfield to face the Bobcats. Thanks for listening, everybody. Have a good night.
This Skyview Sports broadcast has been a presentation of Sports Talk Radio. 106.9 FM, 1390 AM, The Fan.